evening, ladies and gents, boys and girls. Welcome to the inaugural Ukcs GG UKCS Cup. My name is Cody Cass. Joining me is Louis2K. And well, while this isn't the games, this is the preempt. This is the lead up. This is the draw. As you can see at the bottom of your screens, we have our 4 pots of teams. In pot number 1, Aura, obtained. Socially, you dig. Pot 2, Endpoint, Gujon Daniel, Havoc, Horus. Pot 3, Evolved, Machine Soldiers, Munich Esports, Union Collective. Pot 4, Big Time Rush, Mouse Sports, Mouse Plays White, Players of Gaming, and Union Collective. They are many teams that are going to be... Oh, apparently some of the pots are messed up, but we have our actual pots here with the team names in. Louis, of course, we've been in this situation before when the event was on the previous ownership. I'm looking forward to this. This is a new format, a new way of doing it. It worked out pretty well last time. I'm looking forward to it to do the same thing this time around as well.
Yeah, we've got Ukcs GG this time properly coming together to support the UKCS scene and really trying to help the UKCS scene grow once again. We got loads of big teams. Not all of the teams, obviously, we saw at the last event are going to be here with us today, but 16 teams, 16 great teams who again will be looking to try and challenge for the title of this first Ukcs GG Cup. And of course, the winners from last time, Aura, they are involved in pot 1 and loads of big teams, I guess, all around the board in those first early pots. Obtained Socially, Endpoint Academy, Gujon Daniel, who came in the finals also of the last event. So lots of big teams, and even towards pot 3, pot 4, players will be looking to get involved and really trying to push themselves. So this is a great chance for everyone to see who could again be this biggest team here in the UK scene.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing you mentioned there was the fact that we are missing some teams, some names that you won't be seeing right now. Buzzkill, Goth Girl Fan Club, Zenex, and UMX. 4 teams who got pretty far through the playoff stages. Zenex and UMX, of course, giving us that fantastic best of 3 that we had the pleasure of casting. But they have... They've all stepped out of this tournament. Of course, they were directly invited due to their positions in that previous season, but due to either prior commitments or things going on within the team, I know that a couple of the UMX guys are kind of taking a bit of a break just so they can kind of recoup and make sure that they're doing well at university, which anyone who's doing that and juggling CS at the same time, you're absolutely crazy. Make sure you focus on uni, do well, and then CS isn't going to be going away anytime soon. It's been around for 20 years, why not 20 damn more? You can play it with your kids, why not? Louis, one big change this time round as well is the format. So instead of a round robin format for the group stages, moving into single elimination playoffs, we're still going to be having those single elimination playoffs, but to be able to get to that stage, we're going to be doing GSL groups. If you know what it is, fantastic. If you don't, please check out the Wikipedia page. It would take us so long to explain it all, and we'll probably mess it up if we're completely honest. So just check out that bracket over at the Wikipedia page. Which hopefully someone will be able to link in chat in just a few moments' time. Louis2K, let's get this draw on the roll. Where do you want to start? Pot 1, pot 4? What are you thinking?
Pot 4? I think we're going to start with
pot 4. Okay.
Pot 4?
Okay. 4 little tokens here. Inside is the team names. If you remember last time, my handwriting was, abysmal and a lot smaller. We've upgraded. I got myself a Sharpie this time round, just so the team names are actually tangible. I'm going to mix in my hands as well, because last time, I'm pretty certain I deafened a few people. Just to clarify, I will not be held accountable for any audio damage that you hear. Tough, really. Okay, first team coming out of pot 4 is going to be... And this will be going into Group A, by the way. Big Time Rush, our first team. Moving from pot 4 into Group A. We don't have too much data on the Big Time Rush guys, Louis, do we? They came through the qualifiers, I believe qualifier number 2, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. Yeah, they've got... Well, I think you can look at the team on the screen. You can see they've got a wealth of experience in there as well. Freddie, obviously... been playing for Buzzkill. Adam, obviously been involved in the Jaeger squad. You got some of the guys involved at Team Hopeless at the moment. So a good mix of players, and really they are a team who could be looking to cause an upset.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the only other thing we can really say about Big Time Rush, 2014 Colombian Kids Choice Kids' Choice Awards and 2013 Mexico's Kids' Choice Awards for favourite international artist or group. Something tells me it's not the same people in this CS team as it is in the Big Time Rush band, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe they wanted to come across the pond and perform for us. Either way, jokes aside, let's mix up these next 3 teams. We've got Mouse Plays White, Players of Gaming, and Union Collective. Next one, coming out, nice and quick, if I can get it myself, is going to be Mouse Plays White.
Mouse Plays White, currently involved in ESEA Intermediate 2-1 is their record. They also came out of the second qualifier, and they only dropped 1 map against low players on Nuke. A mix of players, a good group who I'm not too aware of. I'm aware of Rowley, but I think that's about it. They're a face at level 10 rank, and in there, a good group, really looking to push and see how far they can go.
Yeah, and this is one of the benefits of an event like this, right, is that you will get some of these teams that you potentially haven't heard of before, some of these players that haven't been around the scene for potentially too long, and then they're playing, of course, in these ESEA seasons, intermediate and open, most of them. We've got a couple of main teams later down the line as well, and it just gives them another opportunity to be able to, 1, get their name out there, display what sort of talent they have, and 2, get some money in their back pocket if they're able to put the money where their mouth is. Last 2, Louis. We've got Players of Gaming and Union Collective here. Let's see who we're going to be picking up. This will be going into Group C in the new GSL bracket, of course. In Collective is going to be that 3rd team going into Group C.
Well, first intermediate team, awesome. Again, I believe they came out of the second qualifier. Correct me if I'm wrong there.
I believe so, yep.
Also, currently not the best record in intermediate at the start of this season, 0-2, but in their qualifier for this event, they beat teams such as Low Players 2-0 after Machine Soldiers knocked them out of the main stage. Again, a chance to prove themselves.
Yeah, kind of last-ditch effort, right? They came through that final chance stage as well, because we're having 4 teams coming through the qualifiers. Oh no, it's even more. I think it was 6 teams per qualifier, wasn't it? Due to a couple of the teams dropping out, and that's what that final chance was for. Well, no guesses who this final team is going to be then. It is going to be Players of Gaming, or POG123, as they are listed on their ESEA page.
A team coming from Open, 1 win, 2 losses in their opening 3 games. Again, a new team which we're not entirely aware of, but I'm looking forward to just seeing what these teams can provide, because we come into this, we don't know too much about them, but this is the chance for them to prove themselves and see what they can really deliver here in this event.
Most definitely. Cool. Well, that is our first 4 teams. You have 1 team in each group so far. Louis, let's hand it over to you, and we're going to draw pot 3. Remind us of the 4 teams that are in pot 3.
Pot 3, we have got Machine Soldiers, Sus, GG, Evolved Gaming, and Munich Esports.
Lovely. Well, our first team going into Group A is going to be, drum roll. It wasn't as loud as you thought, actually. I'm surprised.
I'll have to get some plastic bowls next time.
Sus GG. Going to be our first team going, our second team going through to Group A. First team from pot number 3. 2-2 currently in ESEA Intermediate. They beat Pocket Aces 2-1 in qualifier number 2 to get through to the stage. They failed to get through qualifier 1 after being knocked down to the final chance, and then losing to Evolved Gaming. It's kind of a new project, this team. Started by Shuby himself, who is going to be playing. Some names on that squad that you will, of course, recognise. Fluffs being one of them. Chaos is another one that I'm familiar with. Regan and Isaac, I haven't heard those 2 names personally, but clearly they're doing all right in intermediate right now. So expect some good things from them.
No, I feel like that team could be specifically a dark horse because of some of the experience that they've got on the squad. Definitely. So the next team, I've just randomly picked this one out from pot 3 going into Group B, I believe.
Yep, will be. Between Evolved Gaming, Machine Shoulders and Munich Esports.
They are going to be... Ooh, a nice one.
Evolved Gaming. The aforementioned team, as we mentioned, they beat Sus GG. They're currently 3-1 in ESEA Intermediate. Qualified through, qualified 1 in the final chance after beating Sus, as we mentioned. They're a French-owned team with a full UK roster. Not too much information on them right now, but after a good start and inters, just looking forward to seeing them on the server and seeing what they can do. Is that a badger or is that a bear?
I didn't see properly. It might have been a bear or it might have been a badger. I'm not going to make an assumption.
Let's not assume.
Production.
Let's not assume on our big animals. It is some form of furry creature. Nevertheless, let's move on to the final two teams in pot 3. Lou, we've got Machine Shoulders and Munich Esports going through to Group C. Who do we have?
Is that Machines Esports? No.
Ooh,
Munich Esports.
There we go. So they are currently 2-1 in the ESEA Open season. They qualified through Qualifier 1's final chance after going 2-0 against Union Coal and after getting beaten by Socially 2-1 in the normal stages. So the fact they're even able to take a map off a team like Socially is good signs. It features the ever-talented Team Endpoint video editor Tobin as well. So best of luck to them and the team. That does just leave us with our final squad, Louis. Now, if you've done this right, this should be Machine Shoulders. That is the main point there. If.
Especially for me.
Let's have a look.
I think I've saved myself.
There we go.
Soldiers.
Lovely. Yeah, Machine Shoulders is going to be our final team that go through. They are going to be in Group C. 0-3 in intermediate right now. Not the best of start. They are new to the event. Only just picked up by the Machine Shoulders roster. But yeah, they've been playing together for a little bit of time before that. Came for Open Qualifier 2, but they didn't drop a map through the qualifiers, which is a strong start, to say the least.
Right, I guess at this point we have to move on to our next pot, pot 3. And in this pot, we've got a good pot 2. Pot 2, I'm sorry, yeah. Gujon Daniel, Endpoint Academy, Horus Esports, and Havoc Esports are going to be the ones looking to line up this little pot.
Let's give this one a try then. So, going to mix them in my hand and a little bit of style there, Lou. You got to keep them guessing.
No pressure.
First team coming from pot 2. And this is going to be going straight into Group A. That will be, if I can open up this one here.
No pressure.
Daniel Gaming.
Well, there they are. That's one of the teams who made it through to the finals of the last event. Not the best start they've had to their intermediate season. 0-3 is that record, but they're going to be one of the dark horses and one of the favourites to really go on and do well because they make it to the finals once. What's not to say they can do it again? And
yeah, what's stopping them?
This is the team also who almost dropped out of the groups at the last event and made it through in quite a powerful and decent playoff run they had in the end.
Yeah, I think the only game that they lost 3 maps in the playoffs, right? 2 of them in the finals against Aura, and then 1 against Flight in the round of 16. Yeah, they've had a little bit of a roster change. Only 1 player so far, minus Cripes, and they are going to be adding Dancy, who seems like he's been playing CS in the past. From the stats that I was looking into, used to play with Wind and Rain back in 2018 and had some experience before that as well. But this seems to be his first event back into kind of the CS scene. I saw that Swaggy was mentioning on Twitter that he might want him to join Chets once he announced that he was looking for a team again. But of course, they've already found their 5th, and Dancy's fallen into the Gujon Daniel mix for the time being.
All right, Gujon Daniel going to Group A. The next team out of pot 2 going into Group B.
Let's have a look. If I can get it out of the pot. Oh, I've ripped that to shreds from getting it out of the pot. But I'm sure they won't mind. It's Horus Esports. They're going to be going into Group B, Louis.
Well, the team that came also from the previous events, they were known as Your Dig last event, and they now come into this under the brand of Horus Esports. 2-0 is their current record in the ESEA Intermediate. 2-1-1 was their group record last season. Knocked out in the quarters, but a team who again will be looking to try and push themselves further. Salty and Habs come in for Jax and 0 HP. Yeah,
so a bit of swapping around. They're actually knocked out by Your Dig. It's Habs who's going to be joining from that roster. But yeah, no. So should be quite interesting for Horus Esports. See what they can do. 2-0 in intermediate as well. So a good start for them. Final 2 teams, Louis. We've got Endpoint ROG Academy and Havoc Esports. This is going to be going into Group C.
You've got to decide that.
Ooh, this one's big. Oh, it's worked anyway. Havoc Esports. They're going to be going through to Group C.
Another team in intermediate. 1 win, 2 losses is their current record. They also played in the previous event. 1 win, 3 losses. Group B almost knocked out of groups, but They ended up getting knocked out by the eventual winners, Aura, in the round of 16. But they were one of the teams who actually took a map off of Aura in the last event. Aura's going to be out, and Oscar's going to be out, and Auru's going to be the player coming in for them.
Going to be added in, and well, now we have our final team from Pot 2 going into Group D. Endpoint ROG Academy.
Well, a team who we're expecting big things out of in the future, as the same team as you know before, and the team who are proudly under the banner of Endpoint themselves. 4-0 in Open at the moment is their perfect record. 2-2 in the groups at their last event here, and it wasn't the best or easiest event they had. They were in, I think, one of the strongest and hardest groups.
Yep.
Eventually losing and knocking out, or getting knocked out by Xenix in a group of 16. So no roster changes. Again, a good chance for Endpoint Academy to really prove themselves, to see where they can go.
Yes, certainly, and we wouldn't expect roster changes from them, right? I think this team has very much been established as a long-term project and not something that they want to be chopping and changing players like we are kind of used to seeing in the UK scene. Lose one event, change your entire roster is seems to be what happens time and time again after an epic, or maybe in events like this, who knows. But hopefully that's not going to be the case. Hopefully teams are going to be sticking together and using these sort of monthly leagues to continue developing and actually continue having something to push for. Louis, that leaves us with the final pot, the final 4 teams to go into the groups. Let's remind you of these 4 teams, of course. Aura, Obtained Esports, Socially, and Yadig. Who's going to be the first one, Louis?
Right. Go for this one. There they are. First team out. Group A, Socially Esports.
Socially Esports. 3-0 right now in ESEA main. Very, very strong start. Of course, they got promoted last season. Second in Group C last event, 3-1, but got knocked out in the round of 16 by Buzzkill, 2-1. So definitely something to prove here. We expect a little bit more from them instead of getting knocked out of that first stage. But we know that the Buzzkill guys, they were a strong force in that last event. Of course, not here. So Socially looking to take full advantage of that and continue the momentum that they are building inside of ESEA main. Let's draw that second team for Group B, Louis.
Right, Group B. I can open it.
I believe in you. I'm sure you can. Push.
Alright, this is... This team doesn't want to escape.
See,
I would say let's do another team.
Casters are good at casting. I don't know much else, apparently. We can't open these little pots.
I'm not even...
You
just break it.
Twist it, man. Get a hammer.
I am.
The thing is, I know what you're about to say. We can just do another team. But realistically, we can't. Because this is the draw. Unless we skip Group B and we draw a Group B last. If you can't get it open, then we might have to just put that one to a side. Are you getting a hammer? He's getting it. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologise for Louis 2K's actions here.
I actually can't open this.
Okay, right. Okay, I'm gonna try and bring us a little bit more on track. That's okay. Right, okay. Keep that one to one side. We'll know that one's Group B. Jakey on production. I hope you're gonna be able to follow this. Draw another one, Louis, and that will be Group C's. And then we'll draw Group D's, and then by process of elimination, we'll know who's in Group B.
Right. We're doing this for Group C, yes?
Yes, yes. This is Group C. This is now Group C. Just to clarify, Group B will be done after D because Louis can't open a pot.
I can't open a pot.
Oh, Lord.
Right, Group C, that was easier.
There we go. Yadig are going to be in Group C. Currently 3-1 in the ESEA Open season. Tops out Group C last event with a 3-1 scoreline. They came 3rd to 4th after getting knocked out by the Gujon Daniel Gaming roster in the semi-finals in a 2-0 defeat. Minus Habs, minus Ake, but they do get Adam9130 and Fraser, both playing for the Goth Girl Flying Cup event team last event. And they're also going to be adding Greenie as their coach for this season. So 2 new players and a coach. So Yadig coming to party, it would seem.
Right, this is the last team in pot 1. So it should be the team going into Group D. And that's easy to open. What?
There we go. So this is Group D. So we're about to find out There we go. So it's obtained in Group
D.
So currently 1-2 in the ESEA main season. The LVN, my apologies. The LVN party size squad last event. This time round though, minus Trouto and adding the man himself. LVN going to be added to that one. So to make that full roster of Obtained, who was just recently picked up at the beginning of that previous. 2-2 in groups last event, knocked out in the round of 16s. Will LVN make the difference? That is the big questions. And Louis, by process of elimination, the team you can't get out of one of these, just to clarify for everyone at home, are you ready? Twist. Open. Wow. The team you can't get out of the pot is our winners of the last event. It's going to be Team Aura. They are going to be going in to Group B. 2-0 currently in their ESEA main season. A strong start there. Of course, I mentioned winners of last event, only dropping 2 maps across the entire thing. One in the round of 16 versus Havoc, and one in the grand final versus Gujon Daniel Gaming. There's been no changes to this roster, and why on earth would they make changes? A 2-0 start in main and winning the last event. They've got a tried and true method there, and clearly they're doing well under that banner. So that is it, guys. That is all 16 teams in their groups now, and I believe we do have a group stage bracket to be able to provide for you, just so you can get a full overlay. So there's a lot of information provided. So here we go. This is going to be Group A, the way that, of course, the GSL works. It's going to be Game 1, Social Esports versus Big Time Rush, and it's going to be Gujon Daniel Gaming versus Sus GG in Game 2 for Group A. It's going to be winner versus winner, loser versus loser, and then the tiebreaker to decide the second team that goes through from Group A, of course. The winner of the winners game go through automatically. Let's have a quick look at Group B.
Just to clarify, also, these first games all going to be best of 1. When they go through to the winners and losers brackets, that's where it becomes best of 3. Group B, Aura, our champions, taking on Mouse Plays White in that opening game. Horus Esports facing off against Evolved Gaming in their opening best of 1 matches.
It's going to be a tough group. Most certainly, I kind of feel for Mouse Plays games. As we mentioned, we didn't have too much information for them, and now they're battling up against Aura. But of course, anything can happen in best of 1s, so possible upset. Might have to check that game out when it's played on Friday. Group C, you dig versus Union Collective in Game 1. Game 2 being Havoc Esports versus Munich Esports, the battle of the esports in that second game. Taking us through to our final group of Group D, where we have our final 4 teams, Louis.
Obtained Esports, Players of Gaming, face off in their opening best of 1s, and Endpoints Academy against Machine Soldiers, their opening best of 1 matches. Again, these are all groups that feel quite open, but they've all got their tough individuals.
Yeah, there's all in every single group. It feels like there's one team coming from that pot 1 that could definitely cause some drama, but some of these pot 2 teams as well, they are they're in a kind of a league of their own as well. Gujon Daniel Gaming, Endpoint RG Academy, Horus Esports, Havoc, all of them can provide some very close games. Of course, with this format, instead of it being round of 16s that go through to the playoffs, there's only 2 teams are going to be qualified from each group. So it is only going to be rounds of 8s. So we go straight to quarterfinals, then the semi-finals, and the grand finals. Just give you a rundown of how the weekend is going to work. Myself and Louis are going to be covering one of the best of 3s for the decider matches on the Saturday, and then going to be giving you the first quarterfinals game on that Saturday as well. Jumping to Sunday, semi-finals, then the grand finals as well. So if you've got something planned for this weekend, cancel it. Screw it. Who cares about it? It's UKCS that's on, and that is, of course, the most important thing. I'm really looking forward to this event, Louis. I think, with all the teams, the way they've got themselves situated, we're going to be looking at some close games.
Yeah, all the teams now have just under 24 hours just to get prepared for what are the matches in their groups, and also to do maybe some final research just ahead of what could be a long weekend for some, but what could be a quicker weekend for other teams if they don't do as well. But it's UKCS, anything can happen. It's going to be a really exciting weekend, and I again can't wait to see what all these teams can provide in what should be a great tournament.
Yeah, most definitely. And remember, guys, just to give you a quick rundown of the prize pool. First place, £500, an instant qualification to the June Cup. Second place, £250. Third place, £125 for them. Everyone who qualifies through to playoffs gets an instant invite to the June Cup as well, so they will not have to come through qualifiers. So, of course, that is one of the benefits of just making it that far as well. And that kind of wraps us up, I think, Louis, unless you've got any closing thoughts.
No, we've got nothing else to add. 16 great teams now looking to try and push themselves further, or the defending champions look to try and keep their title back in their back garden. And I guess nothing else really to add. It's going to be an exciting weekend.
Yeah, 100%. Well, thank you very much for joining us for the draw, guys. We'll be seeing you on the weekend. And make sure you check out some of our community casters as well, who's going to be covering those group stage games from tomorrow. Information about that, I'm sure, will be on the Ricks.gg Twitter account, so make sure you give them a follow. My name's been Cody Cast. This has been Louis2K. We'll catch you very soon. Bye-bye.
See ya.